Hello there and welcome back. Today I have the pleasure to talk about this gorgeous pedal called the Planetarium version 3 from Neon Egg. It was a long time that I wanted to put my hands on these beautiful things. It somehow, not only it sounds gorgeous, but it also looks amazing. It has this some arcade vibe, some retro vintagey look. And also the sound is kind of retro vintagey. And so far, I am really loving it. I tried with many things, and today I wanted to give you in one go tell you about all of his superpower. So, for this demo, I'm using just the Perfourmer, and as you can hear, I'm using one channel of the Perfourmer as a kick, because one superpower of the Planetarium is having a sidechain input. I'll talk about that later. And then three sequences from the other channel. Everything you hear in the little demo at the beginning was just the Vermona and this pedal. So far I'm recording a lot of stuff through it, and it just sounds amazing. It just sounds very, very, very beautiful. Okay, so before going on, as usual, some way you can support this channel. You can subscribe and hit the like button. Do it now, it's free and super helpful. You can buy from the affiliate link down below. You will spend same exact amount of money. I will get a tiny percentage. Remember, you need to have the cookie on, otherwise it's not gonna work. And then you can become a patron. On Patreon I do 101. I answer all of your questions, and you will find like hundreds of videos, demos, files, projects. It's a growing community, and I hope you will join. All right, let's go back to this. Let's listen again to what I played before, so you have an idea. First, this is the clean sound. We have a kick that I made with the first channel. And as you can hear, I come out from the front panel input. I go into the input, sidechain input of the Planetarium. What the Planetarium offer is a true. So basically I go, the sound, the signal goes inside the Planetarium and then out from the Planetarium into my mixer there. So one channel is the kick, and it's obviously not, there's no reverb, no delay going on it. And then the other three channel, I have a main synth, the sort of theme, and a bass. So, what's happening in the Planetarium? Planetarium, he has, first step, an input trim. Input trim, it's what it is. Basically, you can push your signal, and it's kind of interesting because it can get in very crunchy tones. They advise not to get on the red, but sometimes it sounds pretty interesting. Then the signal goes into a reverb. From the reverb, a reverb with three different algorithms. Two are reverb, the third one is more chorusy. Then it goes into the delay, which has two algorithms. One is cassette, so it's more of a warbliness, has more of a lo-fi tone, or a tape. You can see by the symbol here. And then from there, everything goes into this compressor. Compressor that can be used just as a compressor, so say you want to extend your tails, make the effects come more in your face, or you can use it as a sidechain. And we will listen to all of that. So first thing first, let's bring some sound, and let's bring in the sound, everything. So this knob turn on the reverb and delay part, and this the compressor. So let's start with the sound. So once you activate this, you have an input trim, and then we go into the reverb. Let's listen to the reverb. This is the first algorithm. You select here, and you have a sides and an effect. In this case, on the first algorithm, the effect is a sort of pre-delay, which I love to play because it creates this sort of out of tune. The second algorithm very beautiful. What kind of reverb? I think it's a sort of a hole. And then the third algorithm, which is a beautiful chorus. As you can hear, we are into a sort of vintage vibe, right? Let's listen to the tape. It sounds gorgeous. So it's interesting, first thing, usually you go delay into reverb. In this case, it's a reverb into delay, so it creates bigger washes. It's not up tempo, so you have to set the time by hand. Not a big deal with me, because I'm using my other favorite delay is the Benny Dub, and it has not up tempo. I love to just do it with my hand, and the fact that it's not super precise, it helps create more, flavor. So you have two main styles of delay. One darker, and one that sounds brighter. So the darker one, which is like this moon, it's the one that is more classic, more easy to use. The other one is a little more experimental. Both sounds great. And so here also you have the choice between cassette and tape. This is the cassette. Let's bring the higher resolution. As you can hear, it's a more clean. Then, what do you have? The flutter rate and instability. What does it mean? Is that it will bring modulation to the delay, creating the flutter, the warbly sound that we all love. And you have the possibility of using a sine wave or a square wave. So let's bring it in. And as you can hear, you can have a visual cue of what's happening with these two LEDs. So now it's a wave. You have two of them, so the more you push instability, the more of those two LED are out of sync, creating more instability. This is the square. I'm putting a full wet signal. As usual, in media, in the middle is where you want to be. Now let's bring the reverb in. Obviously, having the reverb going into the delay, it will make big washes. It could be intense. But it's beautiful. Let's bring also the bass. I like the fact that you can send the entire signal in it and it glues it together. Now, let's cover the last part of it, the compressor. So there's two ways you can use it. And let me... One is external, so with sidechain, but let's use internal. You have one knob that selects everything, basically, the ratio of it, and then you have attack and release. When it's internal, the sidechain doesn't have any use. So this is off. Now, feel when you turn it on how all the tail of reverb and echo comes more present. It's beautiful. But now, let's bring in the external. So what's now happening is like you can send the signal, so I'm sending now the kick, and then sidechain it. As you can hear, now the kick is ducking my signal. So I create space for the kick, or any other sound. It's basically an envelope follower. And then you can decide how much to sidechain. And you have two possibilities here. A short attack and release or a longer one. You need to be careful in changing that because I notice there can be an intense change of volume. So it's a good idea to always turn on the level or disengage and engage when you switch between that. Let's change now some algorithm. This is the second algorithm of reverb. Let's bring the flutter rate and stability more. Now I put a higher resolution tape. Let's bring down flutter and stability. Let's use chorus. Chorus works really well with the bass. Make it bigger. If I change the sustain and decay and release of my kick, of course, they're gonna be bigger ducking. And then I can bring the level up to balance everything. Be careful with the volume. And okay. How easy it is to use the time as any other delay. That's it. Please check the video that I published along with this one, which is a full performance made just with the Neon Egg and the Perfourmer and the Oxy. And it's actually a track and a video that I dedicated to my wife. Don't tell her though. I'm gonna see if she take a look on that. But what is my impression of the Neon Egg? It's really, really good. It's something that you can use as a processor for most of your synth track drum machine. I keep it now on my desk, and I'm using a lot with the Digitact, for example. It gives you basically in one package a lot of interesting tool to modify your sound. Of course, it's not your bread and butter reverb and delay. It has a very specific mood, a very specific flavor, and I think it's great. It works really well for minimal composition, and literally with just one instrument like the Perfourmer or any other synth and that one, you have plenty of things to make interesting sound, beautiful, glued together composition. And of course, I love reverb and delay together. I love the cassette flavor. So yeah, I think it's not easy to get one of these. You need to be in a waiting list, but definitely something that I would recommend. Okay, thanks for watching. Thanks for your support. Thanks for everything. I'll see you next week. Ciao.